Only schizophrenics and geniuses can answer these 3 questions. The way a person answers the most straightforward questions can reveal a lot about them and about what's going on in their head. Questions are used all around the world by psychologists to find out whether an individual is a genius or needs professional help, or both. You will say, "Alright, so if I answer these questions correctly, does it mean my place is in a lyceum?" Of course it does. Not. In present times, people become more creative, so your answers will just prove that you have a creative mind. That's my story and I'm sticking to it. We've discovered 3 tricky questions that can determine your true personality. Who are you? Mad Hatter or Salvador Dali? Each question will have a countdown of 10 seconds. All you have to do is just look at the pictures and try to figure out what's in common in these 2. The correct answer will appear right after 10 seconds, so you'll be able to compare it with yours and draw your own conclusions. Wait until the end and we will reveal how this method works. Also, we'll show you a bonus question that will identify how creative you are and how fast your brain is. Shall we begin? Okay, let's go ahead. Here's your first question. What do a kettle and a steamboat have in common? I'll give you 10 seconds to think. So, are you ready for the right answer? It is steam. Okay, let's go forward. Here's question 2. What do a race car and a tornado have in common? Any ideas? Here are your 10 seconds. So, here's the right answer. They move in circles. Ah, man. Alright, number 3. That's the most difficult one. What do a shoe and a pencil have in common? Ready? Go. Do you know the answer? They both leave behind a trace of their presence. Kinda like a skunk. Or maybe a snail. Ew. Well, how many correct answers have you got? If none, there's no need to worry, your state of mind is completely healthy. Except for that one over there. But if they turned out to be completely simple, then you may have an inclination towards psychological problems and it may be worth seeking professional advice to make sure everything's okay. Now, this kind of test is an example of the contraposition method, which is used to reveal the extent of someone's awareness. If someone with a standard mind is asked the question, "What do a crow and a desk have in common?" they'll probably answer nothing. To some extent, they're correct. In general, these 2 things can't be compared. Now, someone with schizophrenia, on the other hand, immediately searches for less prominent, deeper connections between the 2 objects. Without too much thinking, they might exclaim that people write letters at their desks, and a crow has feathers that can be used to write with. Ah! But how can you tell the difference between a schizophrenic person and a real genius? The difference is that the former will answer such questions immediately, whereas a genius will need to concentrate, discard the first most obvious and least interesting ideas that come into their head, and come up with a truly unique answer. Now, were your answers unique? Share your results in the comments. Now it's time for the bonus. Let's see how creative you are and how fast your brain is. Take a look at this picture. What animal do you see? I'll give you 10 seconds again. So, most of the people see the duck first. However, then they switch to the rabbit, which is also a correct answer. What does it mean? The key is how easily you can switch your consciousness from one image to another and that's the identifier how creative you are. This switch is like a creative flash inside your brain which changes your perception of the reality. It helps to understand that the world can be seen in different ways. So, are you a new James Cameron or Albert Einstein? Did you enjoy our simple tests? Share your results in the comments and hit the like button below the video. Don't forget to click subscribe to join us on the bright side of life.